3 calls, 2 green lights, 1 decision window. I'm putting this on your screen before it shifts because the next few moves at Halas Hall are about leverage, not noise. I'm going to walk you straight through why the backfield. Just jump to the top line of the board after 3 consecutive wins. How the cap leaves a narrow but usable lane. What the tape says about the exact skill set this offense needs to break close games. And the price range that turns curiosity into action. No gimmicks. This is about balance, burst, and taking control of 4 quarters instead of asking the quarterback to be a magician every drive. Context first. At 3-2 after Week 6, with 2 road wins stacked, the schedule finally looks like a runway instead of a treadmill. The culture under Ben Johnson is showing. Fewer self-inflicted wounds, cleaner situational football, and an offensive rhythm that is less adrenaline and more metronome. The ground game finally punched through in Washington, 145 rushing yards, with DeAndre Swift dropping 108 at 7.7 per carry, and that wasn't a fluke. That was timing and angles lining up. It also revealed the one missing gear. When defenses constrict our perimeter runs and squeeze split flow, we need a second engine that punishes hesitation with daylight, not for 25 touches, but for 6 touches that flip a scoreboard. The profile on the whiteboard is not a generic RB1. It's a 200-pound accelerator who hits the B gap like a sprinter, owns the dead leg on outside zone, turns arm tackles into air, and runs Texas choice routes with receiver-level feel. Put that trait stack next to our left side combos, and watch the picture change for a defense stuck between staying light and getting bled, or dropping a safety and leaving glance drift routes behind it. This isn't fantasy. It's geometry. If the nickel widens to protect the edge, duo becomes a 5-yard play on schedule. If the nickel cheats inside, the perimeter screen game and bootkeepers bite off chunks. And when coordinators try to muddy Caleb Williams' picture with simulated pressure, the angle route out of the backfield punishes it. For 6 cheap yards and a new set of downs, I'll be blunt about the numbers I care about because they map to what Ben wants to call. In 46 career games, the target has stacked 2,743 rushing yards with 14 scores and added 169 catches for 1,442 and 8 more through the air. This season, he's sitting at 410 on the ground and another 150 receiving. That's not volume for volume sock. That's the dual threat profile that lets us live in 11 personnel without telegraphing run or pass. We can align him in the slot, motion him back to the backfield, and hit inside zone against a light box, or leave him wide and force linebackers to declare coverage before we even break the huddle. Defenses hate that because it steals the skies and hands advantage to the play caller before the snap dot money next, because grown teams start there. The lane exists because we're talking about a rookie-scale deal in its final year. That's cap-friendly if the acquisition cost holds in the mid-round range with conditions. You do not overpay here. You define a line and you protect it with playtime performance escalators. The rental can become more if the fit is perfect, but the decision today is about November football, not a 5-year plan. The beauty of this roster is that it can absorb the talent without unbalancing the room. You're not tearing out foundation. You're dropping a turbocharger onto a structure that already holds .now the football, in our language. This offense is built to layer stress. Wide zone into boot, duo into glance, split flow into shot. The right back multiplies every branch. Picture pistol crunch with orbit motion. The back's first step freezes the overhang. Our guard climbs clean, and the nickel is now tackling in space where he doesn't want to live. Picture driving drift. Swift owns the flat. DJ Moore owns the drift. Keenan Allen threatens the high slot. And the new back is the backside wheel that punishes any linebacker who dares overplay the quarterback's boot. On 3rd and 4, when the stadium expects stick or shallow, you empty. We call into the backfield at 0-4 on the clock and run angle into a mugged look that he turns into a first down because he understands leverage before the ball is snapped. this is also a red zone conversation. We've improved sequencing, but haven't become inevitable yet. A true dual threat back widens the end man with outside eyes, which opens shovel to Cole Kmet, back shoulder to Allen, and those inside pop passes that steal 6 points without drama. Add in his screen timing catch, tuck, knife, no drift, and you turn second and goal from the 8 into third and goal from the 2, where run-pass constraint turns defenses into pretzels. The game slows down when the back wins with angles and decisions instead of meeting runway. I'll talk risk because it belongs on the table. Trading draft assets at running back is an easy place to make mistakes when you fall in love with highlights. The antidote is usage discipline. We don't need to feed this player 22 carries. We need to script 6 high-leverage touches that either create an explosive or move the chains in predictable pass downs. That is how you buy wins with minimal draft pain. The second risk is the market spiking if another contender loses a starter. If the price jumps into top 100 territory, you pivot. No panic, no chase. The third risk is assimilation. That's a coaching job. Teach the protection calls, lock in the duo rules, drill ball security in traffic, and with this staff, I like that path. Culture matters more than any spreadsheet. This locker room has earned the right to welcome only players who raise the floor Monday through Saturday. The target checks that box. He runs through a face mask on a checkdown that doesn't make a highlight reel. He blocks in 2 minutes without asking for a graphic. He interviews like a pro. Drop that into a room where veterans set the tone. Darnell Wright's work at the edge, Grady Jarrett's detail in the interior, Moore and Allen teaching root craft, and the only thing that changes is the volume in the huddle when the call is close to half. Trade mechanics? Straight. You open with a conditional mid-rounder that escalates on snap share and team results. You protect yourself with health triggers. You offer a small player component only if it helps the other side right now, not a core piece. If the counter is silly, you shake hands and walk. If it's sensible, you move because windows don't wait. All right, time to say it where it belongs. At the crest of the argument, not the start. The move Chicago is positioned to execute, if the price holds, is Breece Hall. Not for celebrity, not for a jersey swap, but because the film screams fit. He gives you home run speed with a sturdy frame, live hands, and that step-through balance that turns a crowded 6 into a violent 12. Next to Swift, he creates the kind of honest boxes that make Ben Johnson's call sheet feel like a menu instead of a test. Next to Caleb, he removes the pressure to be a 40-attempt quarterback in bad weather. Next to this defense, he shortens games by keeping us on schedule and forcing opponents to chase. Let me paint the first Sunday with him in navy and orange. Opening script, wide zone to press the edge, then flash the same look and pivot to counter of linebacker on skates. Cut at the numbers, 12 yards. Second series, empty to force a tell. Recall him late, scan protection against a simulated pressure. Angle route into space, first down. End of the half, 2 minute, same personnel. Choice route away from the bracket. Stop start that breaks a tackle and sets up a shot to Moore. Fourth quarter, duo on first down to make it 2nd and 5. Split zone bluff into boot where he owns the flat and drags a defender with him. Then the kill shot play action glance behind a safety who just stepped into the box 1 snap too late. None of it is flashy in a vacuum. All of it is suffocating across 60 minutes. Now it's your turn before I close this out. What's your line on compensation? Do you sign off on a conditional mid-rounder that can bump with snaps and a playoff berth? Or do you hold at a straight 5th? How would you split touches in the first month, Swift, as the tone setter, Hall as the detonator, or true 1A, 1B with hot hand? And which short yardage call are you spamming behind our left side combos duo with motion, or GH counter to punish over pursuit? Drop it below and be specific. I'm reading everything and building the next breakdown off your sharpest plans. My concise read as we land this. If the medicals are clean and the number stays in the middle of the draft, I stamp the move because Breece Hall next to Dandre Swift tilts the field in every situation we care about opening scripts. 4-minute offense. Red zone leverage, and it lets our quarterback and defense play. The kind of complementary football that travels when the weather turns. If the bidding gets silly, we walk and keep winning with the plan we have. Either way, the board is set, and the path to January is balance plus explosives, not hero ball.